Now it's time for us to move on to the next segment,
Okay.
which is called
Rapid bias.
And in this segment, I'll be asking my guests biased questions that they've got asked at some point in life. And some of these questions are racist and biased questions that you've personally got asked, Isaac. So, are you ready?
100%. Let's go.
All right. First question. You speak good English.
Yeah, I speak good English. If I didn't, coming from American school, I feel like my parents would be pissed. But I actually went to America for like a 2-month-long road trip about like 4 or 5 years ago, and like people were just absolutely fucking blown it because I was like traveling in the middle of the country. I was in like Montana and Minnesota and Michigan and like all the middle parts, and there's nothing more surreal than just having like an Asian dude walk into like a completely white bar in like a completely white town in the middle of nowhere surrounded by snow, and you just walk in and you're like, howdy. can I have a whiskey soda, and just it's again, like I feel like it goes back to like what we talked about, because I feel like, do you speak good English? You can take that the good way, you can take that the wrong way, because for a lot of these people, it's like if you flip it around, from their end, it's like, how often do you see like just this random Asian dude just walk into a bar, speak perfect English, understand your culture, and then like have an actual conversation with you about your own culture? Like, it's wild. So to me, like that, I got asked that question a lot. I actually found it to be a very, very great conversation starter, because then it goes into, yeah, I'm from Hong Kong, but I know every fucking thing about your country. Ask me, you want to talk about your Revolutionary War? We can start there. We can fast forward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for education.
Yeah, I hope I've reclaimed that question in the eyes of our people, so to speak.
And the next question. How do you know so much about other cultures like America?
I feel like that goes back to like the international school education. Like we had to learn we had to learn about U.S. history. Like, we didn't have a unit about Chinese history. We didn't have a unit about Asian history. But like, it's I don't know if that's like the right way to say it, but like I also feel like as Asians, we're pigeonholed into areas of expertise that we're expected to have. Whether that's like, if we're gonna be straightforward, like it's mathematics, it's music, it's law, it's medicine or whatever, and then, but those are very blanket, and they're very common here in Hong Kong. But like, and you come from the same background. Like, we're both social studies grads. We come from a social studies background, and we're very much encouraged, and we've been brought up in that kind of in that education. It's what we value. It's what we pride the best. And I think that I would say that it's an interesting question, because my question oftentimes back would be, why wouldn't you expect me to know anything about like your culture or any other culture? But that to me speaks more like to a general thing. Like, it's more so like about how curious you are personally about the world, and not so much like, oh, you're Asian, why do you know so much about America, or why do you know so much about Europe, or whatever it is.
And the next question, are you offended by the term Oriental?
No, because Oriental is one of those terms where it's so fucking archaic. I would respond the same way if I was called a Chinaman, because my immediate reaction would be, did you just fucking climb out from from like 1899? Like, why the fuck are you calling me an Oriental? But I have been called Oriental twice in my life. Once by a man visiting from Alabama here in Hong Kong. He was visiting his sister. He got drunk, he got mad, and then he started yelling, why are all these fucking Orientals in this bar? Without realizing that he was in Hong Kong, because he was so sauced. And then the second time was when I was in New York I was walking around the West Village. I accidentally walked into a bar, and then it was all dudes in there. The bartender was cool. He spoke Cantonese. And then this old gentleman sits down next to me, and he's like, I just want to tell you that you're a very, very beautiful Oriental man. Like, I just want, and I didn't know how to respond. I said, thank you. And then he goes, yeah, I just wanted to tell you that you're very beautiful. And I know you're not gay, but like, if you want, I can just like, I would just like hold you and just like hug you and kiss you. And I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting there, still trying to process Oriental. I'm just like, fuck, what the hell's going on?
I think what needs processing is the part where he calls you beautiful and wants to hold you and wants to kiss you, rather than the Oriental part.
I think the Orientals thing, it's like you were so close.
Right.
Yeah, you could have had a flawless string of compliments, but then, no, it's just more funny. Like, it's just more funny when people say things that they're clearly trying to offend you, but then, especially if you don't give a shit. Maybe it's not even about the term, but if you just don't give a shit, you're just like, eh. like even in some of my poetry, like I use the term chink a lot, like partially just to throw people off, but also just partially it's a fucking word, it doesn't matter. And I've had like a white lady come up to me afterwards in a show, and she actually told me that's a really offensive term, and I had to like really control myself just to go, bitch.
But moving on, the next question: are you more Western or Chinese?
For me personally, it depends on the people I'm hanging out with. If I'm with my Western inclined friends, I can actually get quite American. I think at root my Western side is very, very American. And I think I drink like a sailor and I swear like a sailor. That's just two components to it. But when I'm with like my dad's friends that he grew up with, or like I'm in a very local restaurant or with my local friends, I completely flip to the other side. I think part of it is that I also, some internal part of me wants to demonstrate that despite everything in my life suggesting that I should be more Western inclined, there's a part of me that wants to demonstrate to them that no, I'm still local enough, like I'm still Hong Kong enough. But it's also because like I just feel comfortable being my local self, or like my Chinese self, with my Chinese friends, with Chinese people. So I feel like there's a part of it that's definitely compensating, but it really depends on the people that I'm really with.
Yeah, a lot of people would think one person could only be like either or, right? But then a lot of us are capable of code switching.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I don't know if you deal with it, but like, I don't know if your spectrum is like Western and Eastern, but like exactly, like it's just an extreme example of how you talk to your friends differently than you talk to your boss. Like, you just change your language, you change your behavior, you change a lot of different things.
And finally, do you play violin or the piano?
No, I do not play violin or piano. I'm a very, very bad Asian. My piano tutor when I was a kid actually told my mom that I have no discernible sense of rhythm and asked her to stop sending me to her class.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was not fun.
All right, thanks for playing this round of Rapid Bias.